Welcome to Thruxton's Motor Centre, where I'm driving something very exciting. Not as exciting as this Rolls Royce. I'm actually hurrying out the skid pan for a whole hour, and what I'm doing is taking out a car that has no grip whatsoever. That's going to be a barrel of laughs. And of course, if you get anything from this, make sure you like and subscribe down below. Let's get into it. And here we are with the watch along. So as you can see, I've jumped into a Mini Cooper. I think I've got some stats up here somewhere. So this is the Mini Cooper. It's got 122 brake horsepower. It does 0 to 60 in 9 seconds, and the top speed, get this, is almost breathtaking, 126 miles per hour. Wow, it's enough to make your face ripple in the wind. So as you can see, I'm driving into the wet circle right now. Now what he's doing is he's teaching me the techniques. Oh, that was a good drift, wasn't it? He's teaching me the techniques of basically having the traction control on versus off. And as you can see, that was off, which is why the car went into a spin right there. But it's all about learning the differences between a front-wheel drive vehicle, which is the Mini Cooper, versus the Toyota that I step up into in a second, which we'll get to see in a moment. But basically, what he's trying to teach me here is the power-to-weight ratio. You've got the front of the vehicle basically with all the grip, which is what front wheel drive is, and you've got rear wheel drive, which is obviously the power at the back of the vehicle sending it, and that gives you less traction on the front of the car, which is what I'm jumping in now. This is the Toyota GT86. Now this is a 2-litre vehicle. It's got a 6-speed manual gearbox. The 0 to 60 for that is roughly, I think it's 7.4 to 7.9 seconds, depending which one you get. And this has a naturally aspirated Boxer 4 engine. I don't know what that means, but that's what the stats say. It does a top speed of around 140 miles per hour. It's quite impressive. I actually watched this exact vehicle go around the Top Gear test track, and even the Stig grappled with it because the tyres are so thin, and yet the power in the actual car, there is a lot of it. And because the wheels are so thin, it's so easy to drift, which is what we can see right now on screen. And I think I started adding a little bit more acceleration, which you'll see in a second, and the wheels are just spinning because there's so much power in the in this vehicle. So what we're watching here is the stability controls on versus them off, which is, yes, that's right, yeah. So you can see how dramatic that spin was, and the wheels, like I said, are spinning on the rear quicker than the front, because obviously it's putting so much power down. Now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing a few circles and trying to gain the confidence to be able to put the power down and to hold a drift, which you'll see. Now inside the car, it feels like you're going a million miles per hour, especially when you spin it out like that. But when you're going, you're holding a drift, and what you're doing is you're basically putting all the power down, and it feels like you're doing a really big drift at like 30 miles per hour, but in reality that's no more than 10 miles per hour. It really doesn't take a lot to be able to spin the vehicle out, as you can see there. But it's all about the tyres that you have on your car. It's all about knowing when to put down the power and when not to put it down, especially in these conditions. So this is replicating ice. It is icy conditions as far as the car knows, and it's spinning. Look at the wheels spinning. There's so much power in those wheels. I think I'm only in first gear, but you can see it's trying to work out where the grip has all gone because all the stability controls are off, and it just keeps spinning. It's awful. But he's now prepping me to get into the Caterham. Oh, this is so undignified. Here I am. I'm going to climb in. Got to get my fat gut over the bar, and I think I hit my head with the helmet through the little bars. Oh yeah. Oh no. It's more embarrassing because the steering wheel, I don't know if you can see, it's on the bonnet of the car. So I didn't even have to get past that. It is so tight in there. It's so crammed. It's so small. And now he's telling me about the switch on the side. This is the ignition. He says if in case of an emergency, flick it down. If the car catches fire or whatever and I need to get out quickly, cut the transmission, make sure the steering wheel is off so I can get out, and yeah. Oh yeah, listen to that. Now the Caterham, I don't think I have many stats on that. No, I don't. I've got the 0 to 60. It's 5.8 seconds 0 to 60 in that specific Caterham. And off I go. So now what he's told me to do on this part is to basically take the car down and around the circuit, just to get a grip of what the car is all about. I think I start looping in between the cones here. That's me just messing about. He didn't say that I needed to do that. And then I enter the wet circle. Now, because I had a practice in the Toyota, it was actually quite easy for the first few laps of the Caterham to be able to control it and to understand the power to weight ratio of the Caterham. Now, because of the elongated bonnet, you've got all of that engine in front of you on those two small wheels and all the power being sent to the back of the car, which is why it spins out so easily, just like that. I was hoping that was coming up. This is showing how you shouldn't do it. It's putting too much power down all at once. And now I'm going to go back round the other way, which he said was absolutely fine. If you spin the car, just drive around the other way. And it was actually better for me to go, I think it was right to left rather than left to right, because I could control it better. I don't know what it was, but it just felt better. Okay, so this is where he starts... yeah, he's saying it doesn't really matter. You can go either way around the circle, whatever's more comfortable. But as I'm pointing that way, to go back round that way. So from there, I think I planted some power down with the acceleration, and you're basically feathering the throttle. That's all you've got to do. And when the car starts to spin out, that's all down to the traction. Here we go. I think I do it here. Yeah, here we go. Just a little bit too much power there. So you're basically getting a feel for either the understeer or the oversteer. Now, understeer is where a car fails to turn enough, pushing wide on a corner because the front tyres lack the grip, whilst oversteer is when the car turns too much, causing the rear to slide out as the rear tyre loses grip, which is what I think I show you here. So that looked pretty good, actually. There we go. So that is what we would call oversteer. The back end is basically trying to overtake the front wheels, which is what sends the car into a spin. That's what it's all about. I'm surprised it's not included in the driving test. I know it's actually included in Scandinavian countries such as Denmark, Norway and Sweden. They make it mandatory that you have to be able to control a sliding vehicle, and I really do think we should implement that. I know we don't get as much snow here in the UK, but I think it is really important, especially when we do have icy conditions, because we have it so unfrequent conditions of ice and snow. I think it would be really good if people knew how to drive in those conditions, because it would make the roads a hell of a lot more safer. Now, it wasn't too long ago that we actually seen a Volvo XC90 that had tipped over. That was a couple of days ago, but it had accidentally got caught on the bank and it totally flipped the car onto its side. But had he have known how to control the vehicle better by doing, say, one of these days, it would have made him maybe a little bit more safer on the roads. And yeah, when we went past it, all the windows were smashed on one side and all the airbags as well had been set off. But it just goes to show that had he have done a day like this, it would have been beneficial. Look at him just watching on me from the corner. He's judging my driving, that's what he's doing, but he didn't say anything. Just going round in circles. You can see I keep putting up my thumb. I'm like, yeah, did that bit alright, did that alright. And then I think I chucked my hands up in the air just for the camera, but it's all a bit of fun, really. Oh, this is where he wanted to talk to me, so I slowly reverse. He said I was quite impressive what I did there. But now he's telling me that I've not got too much time left on the track, so basically do what you want. So I started putting more power down and trying to control the drift a bit better. I come in from the right angle, I'm turning left, and I send it into a spin. Now this is where the rain started to pick up and worse conditions. Oh, look at this. It's absolutely hooning it down. But this was a good representation of what it would be like on icy conditions. The car is literally uncontrollable. You cannot save the vehicle when it is conditions like this. Now the tarmac is painted weird, where it makes it ridiculously slidey. It doesn't matter what vehicle you're in, it will slide the vehicle out, especially if it's so wet like this. Chucking my hands up in the air. I've basically accepted that I'm spinning out of control. I'm like, yeah, I might as well let go of the steering wheel. And I did that on a few occasions because of the conditions being this bad. I think I send it here. Kick the back out. And then it catches the grip on the tyres. I'm entering the wet circle again, and I think I plant some power and spin it out. Yeah, look at that. It is really good fun to do, and I would definitely recommend doing it yourself, especially if you want to grapple with a vehicle and to understand the power to weight ratio, that sort of thing, and to get a feel of what it's like with an uncontrollable surface, because it's definitely beneficial. I cannot recommend it enough, because it's saved me so many times, I think, especially when it has been icy or snow. But like I said, it's so irregular here in the UK that it is beneficial when it does happen, because your mind just goes back to that time of where you're skidding in a Caterham out of control, and you take it all the way off the track, and it's like, oh look, I get another telling off there. But you spin out of control, and you know not to put that much power down in those sorts of conditions. But it does stick with you. It sticks in your mind, and you don't do it in real life on icy roads. So that was understeer. And there's a bit more oversteer there. Anyway, so what would I rate it out of 5? I'd probably say a 3.5 out of 5 stars, because when I actually read the description, I'll just read it to you here. Now, what they have on the website for the Caterham is a private one-to-one session on the skid pan using the Caterham 7, and they say that they can tailor the sessions to suit your specification requirements, allowing you to achieve your objective, whether you want to experience something raw or learn more handling characteristics, getting to grips with understanding oversteer and understeer, or maybe you're starting out in a motorsport and you need as much seat time as possible in a safe environment. So they do cater to it. But it's just understanding that when you get there, I was expecting to have a full hour in the Caterham, and I didn't. They sent me out in the Mini and the Toyota, which I have previously done, but I did say that to him, and yeah, they didn't give me as much time as what I wanted. But overall, I think it's a really great experience, and like I said, I would recommend it to anyone who wants to take up their driving skills. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. If you got anything from this, make sure you like and subscribe down below, and I'll catch you in another video very, very soon on the channel. Cheers.